Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is David, and so tonight I'm going to be talking to you about opportunities, how to identify opportunities, and how to understand what opportunity is. Basically, let's take a time to let's take a moment to look at this. What do you think opportunity is? Most times, people think opportunity is the same thing as chance. People think opportunity is the same thing as luck. Okay, and that's not totally true. And you need to be able to understand what opportunity is before you can create one, before you can understand what you want it for. Okay. Another important question to also ask yourself is why why are you looking for opportunities? You need to be able to ask yourself that question. So why am I looking for opportunities? What do I want to do with opportunities? So until you have an answer to this, then you wouldn't be sensitive to opportunities. That's the truth. So you need to understand why you're looking for opportunities. What is the purpose? Why am I seeking opportunities? Until you can answer these questions, then you will know how to maximize opportunities. And another thing people say that makes me laugh most time is that people say that when it comes to opportunities, people say I don't have the money, and that's very weird because in the real sense, you a lot of people attribute opportunities, money to opportunities. Okay, they link them together. Oh, when you talk about opportunities, of course you're talking about money. It's not totally true. It's not totally true. So I'm going to be giving you some practical examples that I have found useful or helpful in my life, and you can learn one or two things from them and also apply to your own life. Um, Basically, when it comes to opportunities, even if you don't have money, remember you have two things. The first thing is you have time. The second thing is you have energy. In fact, I should make it three. The third thing is your willingness. Okay? Your willpower. Those are the three things: time, energy, and your willpower. Okay? Um, so briefly, I'm just going to share a very quick story. It's a very long one, but I'm going to make it very short. Okay? I remember when I was in my fourth year in the university, University of Ibadan. Okay, so I was very broke. I was very broke. Okay, and I used to live off campus. Then I used to live off campus with a very good friend, um, which I'm sure is who I'm sure is watching this video. Okay, I remember there was a day I was asleep and I woke up in the middle of the night because I was not comfortable. And when I woke up, I just started reflecting on why I was broke and why and how I could help myself. So I needed to reflect. I needed to reflect. I needed to think and reflect. And at the end of my thought process, in the middle of the night, I realized there were some problems I could also solve. And I I remember that as a then we we were in clinical school and we usually have clinics from 8 till 1 p.m. Then we have classes from 2 to 6. That means we have just 1 to 2 p.m. for our breaks. Okay. And I realized that then that a lot of people, by the time we had gone to clinics and we would have been exhausted. And so people find it very difficult to walk to the cafeteria to go and get food between 1 to 2 before going back for classes. So when I was thinking about all these things in the middle of the night, I said to myself, I can bridge the gap. Okay, I can bridge the gap. I can actually deliver food for people um, between 1 to 2 and make some money. So I woke my roommate up, which was also my classmate, my friend, my very good friend, and I told him my idea. And the guy was still sleepy, and he said, "Is this what you want to do?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm in." Also, I said, "You are in?" He said, "Yes." He was in, and we went back to class the next day. And I remember that when I got back to class the next day, I actually um, went to the front of the class and told them I needed their attention, and they were very quiet. I remember vividly. And I told them, guys, I would like to deliver food to you guys between 1 to 2 p.m. during our break. And you guys will have to pay me a token per plate of food. And most of them said, okay, no problem. They were my classmates. Okay. And so what happened was that after I said that, I remember one of them, a lady, came to meet me and said, David, why do you want to do this? These are your classmates. We're your classmates. Why would you, it's like stooping so low. And I said to her that I was not hungry. I just told her, I said, I'm going to do it. It's not a problem. Okay. And I started a business. It was just for my classmates, and I was doing it with my friend. We were doing it, making little money gradually, gradually. And before we knew it, we started making money. Then we expanded because we also had clinicians that said to us that, oh, David, I heard you guys are doing a business, and can you also deliver food for us? So my friend decided to be in charge of the clinicians, and I was in charge of my colleagues. And we made quite a number of quite some money from the business. And that's one thing I want to bring out to you, point out to you about opportunities and reflection. If you are a very calm person, you can reflect, you can create opportunities. You have to be calm, you have to be able to reflect. And by reflection, I mean you need to find a time to be alone sometimes where you can have a clear mind to think about the things you want for yourself. And that's one of the ways you can create opportunities. Okay. Another way to also help yourself, create opportunities is also exposure. Exposure, okay. And by exposure, I mean, okay, I shouldn't say exposure. I would like to say information. That's the right word, okay. And I remember when I was in 500 level, I was still not satisfied because I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to do financially. So I was in 500 level, and I remember I had this friend that was working in Lagos. He had finished school, um, years ahead of me, and he came to IB. Then he came to IB and he asked me if we could see and talk in a restaurant. So I went to see him there, and he was asking me, David, how is your finances? Um, how's it going? And I told him I wasn't really doing fine. I was still struggling. And the next thing he told me was that he asked if I was still playing the guitar because I play the guitar. And I told him I was still playing the guitar. And he told me he knows a band in Hybe, a very big band, um, that if I don't mind, I could play with them. And I told him right away, I said I was interested. Okay, because I saw that as an opportunity in form of information. So that's another thing you should also take note of. And I told him I was interested. And the good thing is that the moment I said that, he he actually just texted the person, and they told me to come the next day. And I told myself I was going to go, I was going to learn. And I told myself also that whatever amount of money, however little I make from the band, I was going to save from it. Okay. So I got that opportunity like that through information. Another way opportunity comes is also through integrity. Okay. And just to fast forward, I've been able to work in quite some places in Nigeria before I left. And I've received calls from people that I'd never met in my life saying, oh, so referred you. They said you can do this. Can you come and do this? And most of the times when I got all those calls, there were points where I really needed help financially. And just because of my integrity, because of things I've done in the past, because of how I'd related with people, I was able to get those opportunities. So that's another way to also get opportunities. Okay, you have to build integrity. You have to build integrity. That's very, very important. Information is another one, like I've mentioned. There's another practical way that you can also use to you know get opportunities in life. One major way is also you need to know what your motivation is. Okay. So I'm going to say this. This is going to sound a little bit weird, but at the same time, I hope you get the message I'm trying to pass across. Okay. I I came from, um, I'm not going to say, it's more of a humble background. Do you understand? We're okay. Yeah, we're okay. So I'm going to call it a humble background. We're okay. And by okay, I mean okay. You understand? Yeah. And I'd always told myself that I was going to do very well, no matter what the country was saying. I was going to break through. I was going to make it. I was very positive, and I was not also satisfied with what was going on around me in terms of family, in terms of finances, in terms of not being able to help my loved ones, in terms of insult indirectly, insult. So I told myself I was going to give in my best, and I was going to do it in a legal way, and I was going to make it. So I told myself, and one of the things that did to me was because of that big decision I made, I was able to put in every single effort I had. Do you understand? I was able to put in every single effort I had into everything I was doing. And so if I was working with you, you would sense the energy that, oh, this guy has really got it. Do you understand? And it wasn't like I had any money in my bank account then, but I just wanted to, to break a cycle. I needed to do well. I needed to help myself. So I made that big decision that no matter what it takes me, I was going to make it. Do you understand? And I put in that energy. So you need to know what your motivation is if you're looking to, if you want to be sensitive to opportunities. Because if you don't have any motivation, I can assure you, you would not sense even one opportunity. So you need to know what your motivation is. Why? That's why I said, why do you want to? Why do you want opportunities? What do you want to use the opportunity for if it comes? Okay, and that's why some people, even when they get the opportunity, which is a blank check, they don't know what to do because they never thought about all these things. So, and that's why I'm, making this video so that people seeing this, I mean, people coming up, young people coming up can also learn how to identify opportunities, how to position themselves for opportunities. And I believe they're able to, understand something from what I'm saying. So that's another thing. Another way you can also really understand what opportunity is so this is going to sound somehow okay. I'm going to make it sound. Another way you can also identify what opportunity is through creativity. Okay, so creativity, basically what I mean is that sometimes, let me be practical now, sometimes you don't get to see the opportunity you're looking for, but you can create the opportunity you're looking for. Okay, sometimes you don't get to see the opportunity you're looking for, but you can create the opportunity you're looking for. And how do you create the opportunity you're looking for? You need to get a skill. You need to get a skill. A skill. If you don't have a skill, there's nothing people want to pay for. If you don't have a skill, then people wouldn't consider you valuable. Okay, and nobody wants to do anything with a person that is not valuable. Okay, you must be able to offer something. Okay, so one of the ways to also create opportunities is to learn to be creative, ideas, get a skill, learn something. Okay, learn something. So I've been able to explore myself at a very early age, to learning different things. Okay, I've learned quite a number of things just to see what I am good at, what I am terrible at, what 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 gives me quite enough money, and so I've been able to explore all these things, and they've really been helpful. So it's one of the things I think you might also want to really really find helpful, um, if you also explore that part of your life. So that's another thing. Another thing I'm going to say, which is going to be last point for today, because this video is getting so long, and this point is a very crucial point. So if you're looking for opportunities, you need to build capacity. Yeah, that's it. If you're looking for opportunities, you need to build capacity. You need to build capacity. How do you build capacity? Um, so there's a saying that you should learn before you earn. Okay, you learn before you earn. It is very true. And that's the major problem a lot of people have. People don't want to learn people just want to make money, people just want to break through. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so I'm just going to share a little story, okay, um, of what has also helped me. Okay, so before I really started, when I started the business I talked about, I started reading books because I knew I needed to change my mindset about opportunities, about success, about breakthrough, because I made that decision that I wanted to be successful. So, and I knew the first place to start from was to change my mindset. So, I started reading books. I started giving my time. That's why I said to you that if you're looking to create opportunities, you have to sacrifice something: your time, your energy. I've forgotten the third one I mentioned. So you need to be your willpower. Yeah. So that's the third one. So you need to be able to say, "Oh, I want to get this done. I want to develop myself." And so this is a quick story. So I remember when I was done with my internship and I was back to Ibadan, and I said to myself I needed to make more money. I needed to get better. And I picked up a book on negotiation. Okay. And I read a book on negotiation. I remember I was with somebody then, um, um, a random friend, and the person was like, "Oh, why are you reading books, guy? What do you want to do with this?" But I just told the person I wanted to, develop my mind. I didn't say much. And the truth is that most of the things I had learned from reading all these books, because I wouldn't pick up a book if it's not going to benefit me, I made them practical in my life. I knew the time was going to come where when all these things would be useful. Okay, so I planned ahead. And so after reading this book on negotiation, The Art of Negotiation, I was still in IB after my internship. I was just waiting for my NYC in Nigeria. And I remember a friend called me that there was a job that was available before my NYC. And as at then, I just finished reading the book on negotiation. So I told myself I was going to put it into practice. And so I went to see this person, the CEO of the, place I needed to work. And she started asking me how much I wanted to, collect per month. And, from some of the things I learned in the book, I kind of raised the bar. And she looked at me like, "Where are you from?" And the truth is that she was able to pay me well, very well. I was comfortable with what she paid me, and she even added extra benefits. And so I knew that that's more like an opportunity also, because I was also able to like prepare myself for that opportunity. So when it comes to opportunity, you need to build your mindset, you need to build your capacity, because if you're expecting something big from God, if you're expecting something big in life, then you need to be prepared to receive it. Okay, if you're expecting to lift a weight that is 50 pounds, you need to build capacity for that weight. So that's what I'm trying to talk about today. So you need to change your mindset about opportunities. You need to know that there's something you need to sacrifice when it comes to opportunities. There is no shortcuts. You need to renew your mindset. You need to prepare your mind. You need to build capacity, and you also need to have a good community of people around you when it comes to opportunity. But remember that the first person that is most important when it comes to creating opportunities is you. The first person that is most important when it comes to creating opportunity is you, because you can think, you can position, and you can put in the work. Nobody's going to do that for you. And before people can recommend you, you must show that you have something valuable. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a wonderful night rest.